The roguelite genre is more popular than ever and offers a variety of games that range in quality from absolutely iconic to completely forgettable. From deck builders to Metroidvanias to beat-em-ups to even shooters, no two runs in a game are ever the same. I want to try to find less commonly known or popular titles to sift through the good, the bad, and the ugly to see what's out there and what's worth playing. While the gameplay you'll see consists of my first impressions, the wrap-up for each will have more ironed out and detailed thoughts while including hindsight and things I discovered with additional hands-on time. If that sounds good to you, then join me for episode 2 of Roguelite Roundup. First up, we have Astral Ascent, a 2D action roguelite that appears to be heavily inspired by the Zodiac with a focus on spellcasting and lightning-fast combat. I'm always a big fan of fast and fluid combat and even platform fighters, so let's see what this game has to offer. That was a pretty long intro.
I'm in the garden, the central prison.
I do like that this is voice acted, and I do like that these sprites are very high quality. Holy cannoli. Animated beautifully, great proportions. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I love how detailed the portraits are, but then you look at the actual on-screen character, and it looks like one of those rotoscoped iPod commercials from way back in the early 2000s. Alright, so we got a jump, we got a double jump. So this also appears to be like a platform brawler roguelite. Top attack, down attack.
The master spawns are here. This shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, we can actually see their HP bars, which is nice. Do we have a dash button? We do, okay. Can we only dash? Yeah, it only looks like we can dash horizontally. We can't dash up or down. We do have a wall crawl, or like a wall stick. Your double jump is restored after hitting an enemy with a basic attack. Oh.
The gravity is slightly different.
That's cool.
But it'll do.
Looks like we also get experience. It makes me wonder what the meta progression is going to look like in this game. Heroes can have up to 4 different spells. Use your mana to cast a spell on the dummy. So that would be triangle. Recover mana by hitting enemies with basic attacks. Spells can have different mana costs. That is a weird range on that attack.
Missing mana.
So we got cooldown. A spell cycle is completed once you use all 4 of your different spells spells once. Oh, okay. So we can't just choose. There's like a spell. That's interesting. Okay, that's gonna take some getting used to.
That's mine.
There's a massive shuriken that comes back after a while. How do I pick this up? What button is it? Oh, L1 to hold to preview the spell. Oh, that is a nice quality of life feature. Being able to see what it does before you decide to take it. We're gonna go ahead and pick that up. We have to decide what slot it goes into. We'll just put it here. So yeah, like if we use it... Oh, never mind. I don't have any mana.
More of them. Masters everywhere. My school trained me well.
Okay, so if we actually...
First year material.
We can actually do some damage. Okay, we do see the attack. Okay, yeah, so we do have to cycle through our spells, which is a weird mechanic that's gonna have to get used. Like, I'm gonna have to get used to it, because not being able to use the exact spell I want is gonna feel a little bizarre. That was actually a good throw. You collected a healing shard. You can stack up to 5 healing shards at once. Consume all of them at any time for healing. Okay. If you have all 5 healing shards, when you use them, you will receive a bonus heal. Okay, so we have some control over our healing, and if we're patient and we don't need to emergency heal, we'll actually get more healing for being patient. That's an interesting mechanic. I'm curious what kind of crazy spell combinations we can get. It also makes me wonder what the boss fights are going to look like. Okay, so those things explode. See, this is kind of why I wish I had complete control over what spells I was using, because I really wanted to throw the shuriken there to hit both of them, and it did like the little dumb thing. So that's That's a weird mechanic. I don't know how I feel about that just yet.
This place is even bigger than I anticipated.
Honestly, same. I thought we'd already be over the tutorial by now.
The Master. He's hiding somewhere behind these worlds.
Love these portraits. Like, I very much already established how I feel about the artwork. At least the character art when they're in the foreground. But man, it's giving me, like, high quality, like, late 90s PC vibes. I didn't mean to skip through her dialogue. I'm so sorry.
See? I was right. I knew someone was breaking in.
That's not the voice I was expecting to come out of that. So this one feels, even though it's like a roguelite apparently, it also very much has strong storytelling and RPG elements to it, which is nice. Interact with him to either change character or enable co-op. Oh, you need a second. Is it?
Punch it time!
It's not online co-op, it's just split screen co-op.
Hey, super happy to meet you. Let me know when you're trying an escape so I can join.
He's giving me Troy Baker Greed vibes from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and I love it. Let's see. Ground Pound. I rush towards the ground and create an explosion dealing extremely massive damage. Let's preview this. Sure. And this one... Fiery Dragon Punch. I launch a fiery projectile in a straight line. It pierces. Yes, please. But yeah, like, it's easy to discern if a roguelite is worth playing or worth recommending after just a few hours of gameplay. Like, you don't have to clear the story the way you do for a lot of other games. And it also makes it a little easier on me, because for games like this that have, like, very specific paths to victory and they probably require you to do a lot of actual playing and traversing and leveling up and grinding and such to get what you want. It does make life a little easier knowing that I don't necessarily have to go through every waking moment of every single game I'm playing to determine if I want to recommend it or not. It's kind of a unique trait for roguelites. We're going to open this Astral chest. Critical hit chance increased by 2%, increase max life by 15, increase attack speed by 5%. We're probably going to go for this.
Good enough.
Because more life is more gooder. So far, my biggest complaint, one of which was mitigated by just going into the options menu and changing the volume. But my biggest genuine complaint is I'm not sure how I feel about the magic system being on a carousel.
Portals, portals, portals. Boring.
2-star, 3-star room. We're gonna warm up a little bit. I prefer magic systems where I have full control over what spell I'm using. Like, just give me a cooldown. Don't put it on a carousel where I have to use every other spell first before I can get to the spell I truly want. Oh, I got? I need to pay more attention to my HP. Alright, toughen up. Increases max life by 15 per tier. Increases aura slots by 1 per tier.
Feeling stronger?
I'm going to boost my max HP because survivability is always nice.
Gotta say, I really like your play, Zim Zim.
It doesn't seem like your attacks have much in the way of... What is the word I'm looking for? Like poise breaking or like causing enemies to recoil? Because it seems like once they decide to attack, they're just in their animation. You can't really interrupt them. Or at least that's what it feels like. And honestly, I don't mind if enemies aren't 100% staggered all the time or interrupted. But I would prefer if they can get interrupted. Yeah, so far, this battle system's fine. But it doesn't feel as rewarding as other systems that I've been using in this series. Yeah, I mean, so far the game is what it is. I don't really feel any kind of way about it. I feel like this is the kind of game that definitely benefits from the fact that there is the potential for multiplayer. Like, I could see if I was running around with a friend in this game, with 2 different characters, or even the same character, we'd probably be having a good time. I do wish more roguelites were designed with online co-op in mind and not just local split screen, because nobody does things in local split screen anymore. It's just, a lot of the time it's untenable, and a lot of times people just, especially as an adult, you don't spend a lot of time hanging out with your friends in person playing video games. If you're usually with your friends, it's because you guys are going out to do something after the work week or whatever. Equipping a gambit will add new effects in the spell. Every spell can have up to 4 gambits in it. If the equipped gambit and spell elemental affinity matches, the spell will gain a damage boost of up to 50%. So it seems like there's a system in place for you to kind of build your own spells and so on and so forth. I do feel like right now it kind of comes across as a little overcomplicated in terms of not just how you can utilize your spells, but just the very nature of how these spells perform. Damn, there's not even like a bounce off their head kind of mechanic if you do the upward stomp. Once they get going, they're just going. You either have to get out of the way or get lucky. I think the reason why I'm not terribly fond of the roulette system for these spells, even though you can cycle through this. Oh, you can't cycle through the spells. You can only cycle through the spells to decide the order in which you want to use them. Because I forgot, you can't use the other spells until you've used all the spells. Like, now I can cycle through them. Yeah, see, I'm not terribly fond of that. I feel like it takes control away from me as a player. I want to be able to use a spell when I want, how I want, as long as I have the mana or it's not on cooldown, you know? When you add that to the fact that you kind of have to get lucky with your builds, with the gambits, like I don't know. It doesn't feel fun. Also, don't mistake my kind of apathy towards this game for like saying or trying to convey that this game's not worth playing. This game is pretty decently built. I do enjoy the game so far. I'm just not blown away by it, and I don't know why that is. As I play through more of the game, like when I'm doing my B-roll recording, I'll probably get a better understanding for why I feel that way. But at the moment, I don't hate the game or anything. I haven't touched on the soundtrack yet, but the music is just fine. I feel like it's doing exactly what it needs to do. Like, I'm not thinking about it, which is just as okay as it being good music. The only time I'll ever really comment on music in the games in a negative way is if it doesn't feel like it fits what I'm doing or just the general vibe of the game, or if the music's just bad. But music that you don't notice is mostly fine.
The name's Taurus.
Oh,
One of the 12 guardians of this place.
Of course, my my zodiac sign is right out the gate, the first one. Okay, cool. I'm watching him get my shit rocked. Okay, he's going phase 2.
On fire!
Again? Come on. Can you get got? Thank you. Okay. We defeated my zodiac sign.
Who would have thought your little fist would be so powerful? And you'll need to train even harder. You still have 11 zodiacs to defeat. Good luck to you, Kieran.
When you put it like that, knowing that there's a total of 13 major bosses that you kind of have to climb through, and I imagine that you probably have to start from the beginning every time, or I hope not. I hope that after you beat one zodiac, you just move to the next zodiac's lair. It is still kind of crazy to me that there aren't, like, interruptions. Like, that was a small-ass scorpion, and my basic attack wasn't even interrupting it. That's a little wild to me. Our enemies are so unfazed by our basic attack. None of these enemies give a single shit about our basic attack. They barely care about our actual spells. Get out of here. Oh, that guy. I didn't realize how low I was on HP. We killed a lot of enemies. Alright, well, I am going to play more of this game, and I will get back to you guys with my thoughts. After giving this game a bit more time and even doing some remote play multiplayer with channel artist Uka, who you should totally follow and commission work from, my feelings around this game remain pretty mixed overall. There's a lot to enjoy about this game, but it is pretty starkly offset by some design choices that hold it back from being something I could see myself sinking my teeth into consistently. In terms of the good, this game is absolutely gorgeous with various levels of art on display, from the simple style of the gameplay avatars, to the intermediate work in the cutscenes, to the highly detailed sprites used as portraits during dialogue. The game also handles well, particularly the movement. It's very responsive in exactly the way it needs to be without ever feeling floaty or imprecise. The combat itself is fine and at times actually pretty satisfying, but that does lead into some of the things I think kept me personally from really enjoying this to the fullest. In the same vein as combat, there isn't really a way to interrupt enemies once they begin their attack animations. Once they decide they're attacking, that's just kind of it, which means you either need to waste time by backing off for longer animations, or you get stuck accidentally trading damage for the shorter animations. And this is true for small and large enemies alike, so there's very little in the way of positive feedback during the combat. There's also the persistent feeling that this game comes across as over-designed in a way. There's so much information to constantly be sifting through in the form of spells, spell modifiers, character modifiers, etc., that it can slow the pace to a crawl more frequently than you might think. This is even more of a problem if you're playing with a friend. I get the idea around this is to make the spells and characters incredibly customizable so that no two runs are ever the same, but until you get extremely familiar with the game, it brings everything to a dead stop. I touched on it in my gameplay, but the spell wheel also doesn't feel the best at times. It can be fine if every spell is a banger, but when you need a specific spell at a specific moment only to have to wait until you've cycled through everything on top of hoping you have enough mana to cast it, it begins to feel like unnecessary innovation. It got to a point where I found myself wishing I just had cooldowns on spells instead of the wheel. To the tremendous detriment of the game itself, I did discover that it's way more fun with a second player. It does slow the game down even more when it comes to all the reading players need to do when looking at equips, but when you're in the action, having a second person there just feels way better. What sucks about this is that Astral Ascent only supports local co-op, so in the absence of online lobbies or matchmaking, you either need to have your friends sitting in the same room as you, or you need to use remote play on Steam or share play on PlayStation, and even then, you'd better hope the host has a decent internet connection. In the end, the game is fine if you're looking to just kill time, but there are better, less cumbersome choices out there that might be a more well-rounded experience overall. It's not a bad game, but it is missing that sauce that keeps me wanting to come back to finish the game. I'd recommend giving it a try for yourself if you think it looks interesting, because it might click for you in a way that it just didn't for me. So this game was brought to my attention by two members of my Patreon community, Curve and Animatronic Badgerlord. Apparently it's a turn-based deck builder, but instead of cards, you're given dice that add an extra element of RNG on top of the standard complexity. I like the sound of it, so let's go on ahead and jump right into it. I already love the art style. It's very charming, and I love that these are frogs. Select Cinder to start new round. Welcome to Die in the Dungeon. My name is Instructoad. That looked like a double O for a second. I'm stationed here at the entrance of the dungeon. Why? Well, I like to offer guidance to newcomers. If you prefer to be on your own, you can press over. You can press our dedicated shut up button at any time. I get it, no hard feelings. Oh, instead of skip, it is shut up. I would like to learn how to play the game, please. Oh, snap! An enemy. How convenient. Wait, let me prepare my tutorial voice. First things first, let's roll some dice on your draw pile into your hand. Okay, now grab your dice and place them on the board to use them. See? Each color represents a different action in battle. The basic actions are red, which for attack, blue for block, and green for heal. Got it, super simple. You can hover over the dice to get information. Try it with that one over there. A bit too overwhelming? Don't worry, let's break it down from left to right. Here's the dice type, okay. The type indicates the action the dice will do when used. Next are the faces that the die can roll, including the active one. So we've got 1, 2, and 3. Finally, some dice have special properties that modify the way they work. So this is a glass property, can only be used once per fight. Gotcha. But enough with the theory. Let's put some more dice on the board. Oh, I have to put this one on the board? Oh, cool. We'll go for the heal. Hold on. You just ran out of energy points. Okay, so that's what this is. That means you can't place any more dice on the board. The number under the hand indicates the amount of energy points you can use per turn. Try hovering over the dice in your hand one more time to check their energy cost. Ah, okay. Right there, the energy cost will vary depending on the dice shape, properties, and more. Some, like D4s, cost nothing at all. Now try moving dice back to your hand to recover energy. Oh, you can move them back to your hand to recover energy. Well done. I think it's time I let you decide which dice you want to use this turn. Put the dice you want to use on the board and then press finish when you're ready. When the finish button is pressed, you will see the timer, the turn play out, not the timer. Very interesting. We're actually going to go for a block. You alright? Sorry, I forgot to tell you, enemies will move after you. Yeah, I figured as much. You can check the icons around the enemy's HP, know their intent. That's very Slay the Spire as well, so easy to pick up on. The sword indicates the enemy is planning to attack with a damage value of 2, and other icons indicate block, heal, and more. But moving on, let's draw dice from your hand, into your hand one more time. Hold on, did you just roll a... what is this, a 0? Yeah. And all your attack dice? That's some serious bad luck. Or it's a tutorial. But wait, we can still fix this. See those purple dice over there? It's a new dice type. They're called boost dice. They can be used to make other dice stronger. Grab one and put it on the board just to see what happens. See that? Boost dice will target certain slots on the board. The value of boost dice indicates how many slots away they are boosting. The same value will be added to the targeted dice. If you put dice in the purple indicators, they'll get stronger. You know what to do next. Let's boost those zeros. Nice. See how the total value right below the dice just got higher? Combining dice together like that is the key to success. Okay, time to finish this. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? With the right combination, you can take out that enemy with a single blow. Yeah, so it looks like I'll be doing this. What is this icon? Hey, slow down for a moment. This enemy is special. See that icon over there? Icons like that indicate the enemy has a modifier. Come on, hover over it. Modifiers change the way enemies behave. They can modify their actions, the board, or even the way they need to be killed. When killed, deals 3 damage to the player. Oh, that sucks. I hate enemies like that. When you encounter a new enemy, be sure to hover over it to learn a bit more about its behavior. Knowledge is power. Knowledge. So we're going to... Oh, so you can see where it'll boost before you put it. So we're going to do this. And then we're going to do this. That should be more than enough to kill them. And then I got slapped in the face. Add 4 to the value of any dice 4 slots away. Gain 3 block. Deal 3 damage to the enemy. And I can target the enemy. I like the boosters, so we're gonna do that. Oh, I didn't go to the right path. I'm such an idiot. I should have gone up and diagonal. I thought it was straight across. So that's my bad, but I can hop up this way. Neutralize modifier. When killed, the actions of the next enemy will be cancelled. Interesting. You've got 10, and you're going to attack for 3. Is there anything I can do to guarantee myself a kill? I don't think so. Well, we're still going to go for... We're still going to go for the AoE here. Alright, so what I want to do now... I want to go for the block. And it's just a normal attack. It's not a splash, I don't believe. Yeah. So we can take out at least one enemy. I think we should go for the heal here. And then we're gonna go for an attack. I like this. It's very simple. We don't need to do anything else. But I'm sure there are interesting ways to stack those. Faulty. Copy any dice 4 slots away. Interesting. Okay. Upgrade dice. Increase the value of the faces from basic tier dice. Modified dice. Redistribute the value of faces from 1 dice. Blinding light bulb. Deal 2 damage to all enemies when the dice with the flash property are used. Rigged coin. Attack dice gain +1. Extra value on odd turns. Block dice gain +1 extra value on even. Oh, interesting. Oh, are these like relics? Oh, they're relics. I'm such an idiot. Oh, you've got 14 HP. Okay. You're about to deal 3 damage. Ant dice. While alive, keeps an ant dice on the board. Okay. That's fine-ish. This is going to be 2. Do we want to eat 3 damage? I think eating 3 damage is fine. We're doing half their HP at this point. Is that a 7? Oh, it's the glass dice. I was about to say. We actually didn't get any. But this will kill, so it doesn't really matter. Rest tile. So is this going to be just rest or... Oh, interesting. Redistribute the value of faces from 1 dice. I guess I need to see what this actually means. Let's test it on one of our boosts. Oh, interesting. Oh, I see. That is okay. So you legitimately can build your deck the way you want. Okay, so I feel like what we want to do is want to take something like this, and we want to make our base block somewhat decent. So I'm actually going to lower these 2, and I'm going to raise these 2, because I feel like if we do it this way with our block dice, then at the very least we have something, and it's like scaling in terms of, like, even if we roll poorly, we're still getting something out of it, you know? I like that system. That system's actually incredibly intuitive. 9 HP. So we're gonna get a block off, and we're gonna get an attack off. Wow, it's crazy how simple this game is, but how immediately engaging it is. Like, I'm already sitting here thinking of all the possibilities in terms of what could be pulled off in a run. Also, can we just talk about how well it's animated? I love these sprites so much. Something about this simple frog face is just really doing it for me. You've only got 2 HP left, so we're just gonna go for some sweet ol' overkill. We do need to heal though. It does suck we haven't drawn another. We need to put some damage on the board. It does suck we didn't draw any blocks or heals there, but you know. Oh, did we just get got? We just got. This is definitely one of those kinds of games where if you end up dying, it's probably because you were getting too greedy like I just did. Like, I got punished because I didn't understand the system, or at the very least I got too excited about something that didn't work the way I thought it did. So we're going to go ahead and take this guy right out. But this does seem like one of those games where when things go wrong, it still feels fair. Let's go for more healing this time around. This time we are going to... What is this place? Event tile. Let's check out the event tile. This requires you to think in a different way because you have to look at what they're doing, where you're sitting, what dice are in your hand. I like this quite a bit. And the music is also very charming. I haven't touched on it yet because I've just been so engrossed in the gameplay, but the music is also very nice. You encounter some rations left behind. It looks like those who were enjoying them left in a hurry. We don't need to use them. Let's look for some valuables. So if we do this, we'll get the munchable dopamine. Munchable dopamine, okay. If you finish battle with full HP, increase max HP by 1, okay. So we're going to be hitting for a total of 12. I do like that it shows us how much we're hitting the enemy for. This is the best opportunity to take that guy out and give us a bit of wiggle room against this guy. God, I'm so in love with this game already. It's so fascinating. So we're just going to go straight through. Oh wait, this is an elite battle tile. I feel like we'd be doing a disservice if we didn't do this elite battle. Oh, I love your sprite. Tangled modifier. Applies the Tangled slot effect to one random slot on the board for each time they deal damage to the player. Tangled reduce by 1 the value of the dice on this board slot. That could be bad. That's probably not worth it then. 7 damage is probably more worth it for now. Yeah, we're just gonna do this. Okay, so he hits twice. Okay, so those slots can't be used, or they can, but they'll be down by 1. So we're gonna play around those. We're gonna try to get our HP back. And we're gonna block. I wonder if there's a Thorns relic in this game. That'd be kind of sick. So we gotta play around these again. Gonna go for the block. And I'm gonna go for the damage here. Okay, so we should be able to just kill this turn. So I'm not even going to... I'm gonna just go for the overkill then. Cool. Excuse me? Okay, that's not what I thought was about to happen. So we're gonna go for the attack on you so that you don't get extra attacks. I thought it was just going to... Oh, I see it over here. I don't know why I never noticed the mob. So it's waves and not just one enemy. Interesting. And we got our first boss fight. What is this music? This is a very Tetris attack. At the start of the turn, spawns allies. Oh, I don't like that. That terrain got rerolled pretty poorly. So let's do it. So what I want to do then... We're going to do this. We're going to go for some block. Oh, you're going to heal. Okay. But we're going to increase the... We're just going to get some damage off. Oh, you healed this thing? Why? Interesting, interesting, interesting. We've got 7 block coming in, which isn't enough, but it's also not nothing. And this just keeps getting stronger because we just keep using it. We're gonna go ahead and get a heal off here. Can I have my turn now, please? Thank you. It's not quite enough, but... Yeah, I'm not pressed about it. This should end the fight here. Oh, right, he had block up. My bad. This... Oh, we don't have any attacks in our hand. What is this nonsense? There it is. Okay, now you should be cooked. They do continue fighting? You know, shame on me for assuming. Wait, what am I doing? This is gonna murder you guys. Well, you guys, I'm gonna keep playing and then I will get back to you in my thoughts about this game. So I'll see you in a bit. I was pleasantly surprised by this game through and through. Like I mentioned before, Die in the Dungeon was highly recommended by 2 of my patrons, and I'm glad I took the time to check it out because it's a perfect example of a game that's easy to pick up but requires effort to truly pop off. The simplicity of the dice system is so novel but rewarding in terms of the mechanics. The dice are color-coded in a way that's incredibly easy to internalize without having to think too hard about anything, and the randomness of what your dice roll add to the flavor of each run while rewarding your creative play or forward thinking. The game isn't easy, but it also isn't teeth-breakingly difficult either. It puts a system in front of you and appropriately raises the difficulty as you go along because it expects your understanding to grow alongside the rising difficulty. I never hit a point where I felt like I was being done dirty or like the game was unfair. All of my losses were easy to rationalize in ways that I was easily able to learn from. I got too greedy, I took too many attacks and not enough blocks, I used my heals too early, I forgot about enemy mechanics, etc. The shape of the board also changes depending on what character you're playing as, which adds a whole new dynamic to how you interact with it. I'm also a big fan of the aesthetic of the game all around, with not just what the characters and enemies look like, but how they're animated to give them personality too. I've still got a ton to explore in this game, but I can pretty confidently say that this one is worth your time and you'll likely get a decent amount of mileage out of it. Next we have Gunfire Reborn, a game that caught my attention because it's a first-person shooter roguelite, which I can pretty confidently say I don't think I've ever experienced. It also boasts having online multiplayer, which could be a huge plus if the game turns out to be fun. I'm a bit picky about first-person shooter games already, mostly because I'm bad at them, but let's see what this game is about. Alright, so we are playing, what is this, Gunfire Reborn? There was a cutscene at the beginning that I ended up unfortunately missing because I was trying to get everything set up for recording and things were fighting me. But this is a first-person shooter roguelite. I am excited to see how this goes. That is a man with a crossbow. That is not the direction I dashed in. Okay, I wonder if this is going to have a Borderlands feel to it. Is there a cooldown on the dash? There is. But I saw in the Steam page with the trailers that there's also melee combat, and that's kind of what I'm here for the most. We got a left bumper. I need to... Okay, hold on. I need to switch to keyboard and mouse because this does not feel good. Dash is shift. My secondary attack is E. Okay, cool. Approach the weapon and press F to pick it up. Can you get off my screen so I can see what it does? The damage is lower though. Tab to open backpack. Each weapon has its own attribute, and the inscription on the weapon also brings more diverse enhancements to the weapon. Different weapons consume different ammo. Okay, so this uses normal ammo, so you've got normal, large, and special ammo, which is fine. Tab to close backpack. 3-round burst, third shot auto crits on hit. Oh, that's actually neat. Plus 50% lucky shot chance for the next shot after killing an enemy. Alright, well, let's see what this game has to offer. I do like the little art style. I kind of wish Q to activate secondary. Oh. Those poor guys. Kill the remaining monsters. So I do apologize if games like this cause some motion sickness for some people. Feel free to skip ahead. I just switched to keyboard and mouse because for first-person shooters, I prefer... Oh, okay, so we don't even get to do the run. It's just, the tutorial just ends with you dying. I tend to prefer having full control of my reticle versus trying to aim with the thumbstick is not always ideal. You're awake. Crown Prince. What a cute design. Where is this place? Did you save me? Uncle Bow. Very Uncle Iroh coded. Here's the tavern. Why did you go there? Thank you for saving me. I heard that there were monsters gathering, so I wanted to go there to investigate. I didn't expect... Are you looking for that too? Yeah. The Longling Tomb was once a place to seal demonic aura, but now it is perilous because the demonic aura has gone rampant. I am totally at odds with the demonic aura. After all the hours of effort to get the clues, I will never give up. I suspect that whoever wrote this, English isn't their first language, or the localization team didn't make this feel smoother. Because it's very stilted dialogue. If you insist on going, take this. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. Okay, but what is it though? You need to activate the talent arm support. Okay. Guess we're going. Golden touch will talent. Okay. The foundry. I apologize if my aim is shit. I am not good at first-person shooters. That's why I don't play them. Get back here. Oh, my grenades are full. This is why I do wish I was better at aiming in with the controller, because sometimes I just don't have a good time with the buttons. The Frenzied Shark +1, plus 288 damage. I wish is there a comparison button? I would love to see the comparison. Fires bouncing grenades? 50% chance to cause an explosion that you know, we're just gonna give this a go. I like it already! I can tell I'm gonna get a lot of mileage out of this game. I really hope that the game continues to pique my interest, because games like this are just inherently fun to me. Especially getting a gun like this super early. Oh, Jesus, hello. Getting a gun like this super early is nice. Get fucked. Oh, I can jump. That's good. The ninja's discipline. Plus, hello? I'm trying to read. That guy actually caught me off guard. That was a low-key jump scare just now. Plus 30 stacks every 3 seconds. Plus 0.5% lucky shot chance for each stack. Up to 90 stacks. Minus 10 stacks after dealing weapon damage. Interesting. We're going to go ahead and pick it up. Thanks for the bleep bloop. And a treasure chest, baby. The treasure chests very much feel, or they look like the treasure chests from, what is it called, Dungeon Defenders. A goblet overflowing with mysterious energy. Pick it up to enhance power. Ascension. Ascensions determine the direction of growth of this adventure. Level 3 Ascensions have powerful additional effects. Reasonably matching Ascensions, occult scrolls, and weapons can help you go further. After throwing a smoke grenade, plus 30 max shield for 6 seconds. Smoke grenade capacity plus 4. Energy orb deals plus 200% damage and has a 50% chance to explode twice? That sounds sick, buddy boy. Alright. So far I'm digging this. What's this? Vault? Seems to need a special talent to explore. Okay. So it gives you reasons to go about stuff. Man, this artwork is delightful. How did I miss? Get out of here. Kobe. Get shit on. Okay, I'm genuinely loving this game. Because it's simple. It's very to the point in a way that is just so much fun. Kobe. I got lucky with this gun. I'm gonna just go ahead and admit that right off the bat. I completely missed. I honestly might rebind my special to my right mouse button. Let's see, fire damage. Okay, so there's elemental damage. 40% chance of dealing burning, which deals continuous damage to the enemy. After waiting for 1 second while scoped, crit plus ×2. Okay. Oh, there's a compare button. I just didn't notice it. Am I not close enough? There we go. Oh, we can have 2 weapons equipped? Okay. So I will pick this up. How do I swap between weapons? Oh, okay. So this is how I do that. So I guess I'll switch my ability to the weapon. Oh, I can swap between like this. The more I play this game, the more I'm just like, okay, I was thinking of this, and it's just better. I'm going to swap my little action button to clicking in the mouse wheel, so give me just a second. Okay, I rebound my primary attack to the middle mouse button. And I would like to use it. Hell yeah, buddy. Hell yes. Oh my god, this game is so satisfying. Is there still someone here? Bullet bank. Oh, that was my thing recharging. All picked up ammo will automatically convert to the currently equipped weapon type. That's neat. Let's get... Fuck me, that actually startled me. Jesus. I cannot explain how that actually scared me just now. I thought I was in the clear. Oh man, I can see how this game would be so much fun with friends. A goblet overflow. We already picked this up before, so we just need to continue using it. Plus 40% corrosion damage. Do we even have any corrosion damage? Does it give us corrosion damage if that's the case? Explosion damage for explosion radius for our energy orb is increased by 2 meters. Freeze effect and damage will bypass barriers. Ooh. You know what? That just sounds good. That gives us more bang for our buck. I do like that these are segmented into rooms with treasure chests at the end, but it doesn't feel like I'm just going from, oh, this room through a doorway to another room. Like, it's a series of rooms before we move on to the next stage. I do like that. That feels appropriately engaging. Unlike, if you guys remember Pennyblood, how it was just one singular room. Oh, jeez. A group of bugs. Where? Oh! Unique enemy types. I was expecting to see the same enemy types for at least 2 or 3 more stages. So seeing those explodey head boys, you know what? You get points. Kobe. It makes me wonder what the boss fights are going to look like, to be honest. And if the boss fights are going to have mechanics, so to speak. Oh no. Oh my god, boys. It's the bomb. Oh, get away. Oh, jeez. Holy shit, that was close. Oh, and they leave a little AoE area, a little DOT. I love it. I genuinely cannot explain to you guys how much I'm enjoying this. And the fact that I'm not spending most of my time criticizing it is probably the best compliment I can give it. This is more unique in terms of roguelikes that I've played. It's not your standard fare. Like, it's... That guy was just waiting for me to murder him. He was off the clock. Efficient firepower. 50% chance to get 1 extra recovery time when the secondary skill use minus 50%. That's just a bunch of words to me. I got other things on my mind right now, so I'm not really clocking it. Anywho, like I was saying, this is uniquely refreshing in terms of what the roguelite... Ugh, get away. God damn it. What the roguelike genre typically has to offer. And again, this is one of my favorite genres of games, period. But something about this just feels so good. Maybe it's a combination that I wasn't expecting, like the first-person shooter. Oh, we got a little shop owner. I didn't even realize I was picking up gold. We've got a mixture of roguelite elements with items and different weapons, which gives like a Borderlands feel to it. Oh, a submachine gun? And then we've got the, the actual mixture of... Yeah, we're going to swap this one out. Oh, that's our primary, so we can't swap that one out. I guess I'll get rid of the sniper rifle, because I just never use sniper rifles. Replenishes magazines automatically when you stop firing. The shorter the reload time, the quicker the speed of replenishment. Lightning damage, 10% chance of dealing shock. plus 60% magazine capacity. Each hit gains plus 3% weapon damage for 5 seconds, up to 15 stacks. But you will lose 1 stack on him. You know what? I rock with it. So what does this look like? Oh, it doesn't even have like terrible. It doesn't even have terrible weapon spread either. Holy cannoli. Buy a legend gift box. Obtain a luxurious gift box. There's a great chance to obtain either 1 normal scroll or 1 rare scroll with a chance of getting a legendary scroll. Let's go see what the peddler has before we spend any gold. But I do want to give that a go. Built-in loot boxes? Okay. Oh, you can buy weapons here. Argus plus 2. Large ammo. Bullets spread horizontally and knock close enemies back on hit. If enemies hit any barrier on their way back, they will receive additional damage. Okay, okay. Oh, these are grenades and ammo types. A magic bun. Frenzied Shark plus 2. Ooh, I do want the Frenzied Shark plus 2 because I've got the plus 1. Scorching Rounds plus 2. Ooh, I do want this though. Let's go ahead and compare. Yeah. Yeah, I think I do want this one. We do lose out on the 50% chance to cause an explosion that deals corrosion damage. So maybe I don't want that. Okay. I think I'm going to pass. And I'm going to go spend our money on this scroll up here. You got a gourmet. What does that mean? Buns now recover full HP. Alright. That's neat. Let's keep on keeping on. And this is our actual chest for the run. Or at least for this room. We are going to increase the area of this again. Because having our primary skill cover more ground just gives us more bang for our buck. And I can see how this would be a good boss killer. The submachine gun, I mean. Which, oddly enough, submachine guns were my favorite weapon type in the Borderlands games. Specifically Borderlands 2, because Borderlands 2 is goated. Borderlands 1, you know, pretty okay. Borderlands 3, never finished it. Pre-sequel, can't remember anything about it except I hated the oxygen system. Who are you? You're a craftsman. I will have to talk to you momentarily, craftsman. Go ahead and shoot you guys. That looks like a... Or is this a rare? Are items broken up by rarity? I can't tell. It's a cavalry plus 2, 3-round burst, 3rd shot auto crits. Damage type is corrosive. I don't think I care about that. I think I like what we've got. Let's go ahead and shoot you guys. That very much like the that one rune in, was it Breath of the Wild? Or is it Breath of the Wild or was it Tears of the Kingdom? It's been a while since I played either one. Excuse you. Damn, this game is genuinely entertaining. This might end up getting the recommended game of the video, to be honest. This is a blast, no pun intended. I can already see myself losing countless hours to this. Especially if I can rope any of my friends into playing with me. To have not seen anyone mention this game seems a little criminal. What the hell was that? Hello? Hey, the portal's been open. So we are going to open this chest. We're going to double back and talk to that craftsman because I am curious what he is offering. We don't have any corrosive damage. Energy orb deals plus 400% damage, has a 50% chance to explode twice. We're going to go ahead and take that. And I forgot we have a dash as well, because I just haven't needed it. Can we dash? No. I was hoping that we could dash kind of vertically. That would give us more of a jump. But we don't. We can't. We're going to go talk to the craftsman. Hello. As highly skilled craftsmen that can enhance weapons or reforge weapon Gemini inscriptions. Zoom. Enhance. Oh, we have enough money to enhance again. Oh, okay, so it's limited. I should have been paying attention. But I'm glad we enhanced that. We probably should have enhanced the Star Devourer, which is just a cool-ass name. Because some machine guns that can get upgraded to doing more damage can get disgusting with their fire rate. So if we see another craftsman, that will be our prerogative. It also doesn't help. Oh hey, another craftsman. So I'm going to do exactly what I said I was going to do. Oh, we only got to upgrade it once, but you know. Okay, first boss fight. Lulu. Oh, bosses are... Oh. What? Okay, I need to start dashing. It's weird. Doing this is a little weird because I can't see the, like, circle where Homeboy is doing his attacks because they're happening in first person. Mechanic circles that you can't see are a little annoying. Especially when there's a cooldown on your dash. Yeah, like that feels a little unfortunate. Come on. There's like no time to react to that. And then he jumps right over my shit. Okay, so he's going back up there to recharge. We gotta take care of these guys. Ow, I deserve that. Okay, so I just gotta be proactive with my fucking dodging. How was I not out of that circle? I genuinely don't understand how I was supposed to get out of that. We're gonna revive. I feel like your dash doesn't take you far enough for that to be a viable option sometimes. Because like even dashing out of the enemy circle there, like depending on where I am in the circle, it just might be impossible to get out of it in time. Okay, so we need to use the pillars to our advantage. That is also something I need to just do. Okay, or he could just ignore that entirely. I don't understand the range of his attacks sometimes. Yeah, see, I thought I was out of the circle there. Bro! Okay. I think that's the first time I genuinely felt like there was an issue going on. Your dash doesn't take you nearly far enough for it to be a reliable means of getting out of that circle. Like I said, depending on where you are in the circle when the mechanic spawns, you just don't have time to get out of it. I would try to dash the moment I saw it, and it just never felt like I got far enough, fast enough. That felt a little unfortunate. There's no two ways about this. This game kicks so much ass, and I'm gonna need you to bear with me because I have a decent amount to say. I was and still am genuinely blown away by how simple but addicting the gameplay loop is for this title. It seems like it would get old pretty quickly, but the tons of options and weaponry, the builds you can make, and the various characters you can unlock keep things fresh for quite some time. On top of that, the gunplay feels really satisfying in a way that made doing run after run never lose its entertainment value. While you'll definitely be seeing the same landscapes over and over, there's a fun amount of variety to the enemies in each stage, all culminating in bosses that I'll touch on momentarily. After each run, depending on how far you've made it, you collect an in-game currency used to fill in your meta progression skill tree. These can range from simple attack upgrades to allowing you access to a chest before each run so you can potentially go into the first stage with a crazy weapon. The game also has multiplayer, which is just as crazy and fun as you'd expect it to be. You can have up to 4 players in a lobby, but unfortunately the matchmaking for this game is pretty much dead. In the several hours I spent playing, I only ever came across one person in matchmaking, and that was after sitting in the lobby for minutes at a time. Luckily for me, they were very friendly and we had a great time. Thankfully, this game is just as enjoyable solo as it is in a party. Except in one case, which brings me to my only real negative for the game, which is the boss fights. To some degree, a bit of this can be summed up as a skill issue, particularly with the first boss, but as you climb through the stages and fight subsequent bosses, you can kind of tell that this game was mostly balanced for multiplayer sessions unless you have an overpowered build. Based on how bosses operate, it seems like they're designed to constantly have their attention split amongst a group of players. The bosses also become dreadfully fast to the point it does make you wonder how the devs expected you to react to some attacks. The Hydra boss in particular comes to mind here. And since the game is in first person, it can be difficult at times to see and react to the red indicators of where an attack is headed. First person also makes it difficult to judge the full scope or range of an incoming attack, but even if you do, if you don't react the instant you see it, there's a 99% chance it's going to hit you unless you're just super lucky with your positioning. Regardless of how the boss fights feel, I genuinely believe this one is worth playing for yourself. Even more so if you can rope a friend or two into checking it out with you. Hell, you'll probably catch me in a lobby at some point if you do. Alright, next we have Nova Drift, which is a bullet hell action roguelite where you control an ever-evolving biomechanical ship. I already like the sound of that, and it reminds me of all those old space shooters I'd play on the PS1. The game seems pretty well received by the community, which is a good sign, so I'm excited to check this one out. Oh, there are a lot of challenge modes. That's pretty neat. So the triggers do what? Oh, this is an interesting feel. Okay, so we fire with the left trigger and we thrust with our left trigger. It activates our thrusters. Let me phrase that in a way that's a little more respectable. So we don't just automatically control where we want to go. We have to actively think about what we're doing. Oh, this is gonna take some getting used to for sure. But it's much more hands-on. Like I'm actually actively firing myself. Oh, okay, we got some bippity-boppity music. Weapon, pulse, or the salvo creates a powerful electromagnetic blast centered on you. Hits in 2 radial waves, the smaller of which deals twice as much damage. The blast gains 50% of blast radius modifiers as damage. Also fires projectiles in a 240-degree cone. Okay. The salvo is we deploy a salvo of wild heat-seeking missiles that explode in a small blast radius. I like the sound of the pulse. Close targets take triple damage. Oh, it changed my entire... Okay. I thought it was going to be an extra weapon. Oh, okay. No thanks. This is so difficult. Oh, okay, the screen wraps around. It replaces our standard attack with the... I have 0 control. I'm very much not good at control systems like this. It feels like when you're playing any game that has like an ice system where you're kind of skating around, that's what this feels like. It doesn't feel bad. Don't take what I'm saying as me being a hater. This is actually very interesting for a roguelite. Because you simultaneously have less control while also encouraging better play. Oh shit. This is actually kind of fun. I'm so bad at it, but this is super neat. Can you get gone, please? Once I get the controls Once I get the controls down pat, it's over for you bitches. For a moment, I forgot how to drive. That is genuinely going to be the make or break for a lot of people. It's going to be whether the controls are something you enjoy. Because I can see how this game would be super fun if the controls become something that you're okay with. Because I can see how this adds a unique kind of challenge to, a unique kind of challenge to the game. But I can also simultaneously understand how someone would find this control scheme to be particularly frustrating. Because this game's super simplistic. And I say that not to disparage the game, I say that in, like, it's very easy to just understand what you're supposed to be doing. But when you feel like you don't have total control, I can understand how that might rub people the wrong way. This does seem to have the same pitfalls as a lot of upgrade systems in games, and I always comment when this is the case, where it seems like a lot of our upgrade choices are very much a lot of our upgrades are very much percentage based, and when percentages are relatively small, they're not tangible, I should say. And when you don't feel the tangible change in your power as you upgrade, it does kind of hinder the experience a little bit. That's why I prefer just straight up power upgrades in terms of if I can see the flat damage I'm getting, or if it changes the way one of my spells or attacks or whatever operate, like with Spell Brigade, that feels better than just straight up, you get 5% here or there, even though Spell Brigade also does that. But since there's not as much to do in Spell Brigade in terms of your loadout, like this is a lot of options to have to read through every time. So this is what I mean, like after a while your eyes just kind of go cross-eyed. We got a boss fight on our hands. The last thing I want during a boss fight is to feel like I don't have control. Okay, yeah, see, my thing right now is I don't have as good a control as I would prefer in a game like this. We got +1 reroll. Cool. I wasn't even looking at the boss's HP because I was just trying to control my damn ship. I'm surprised you only get like one weapon. Because when I chose the pulse, like the shockwave that we have as our weapon, because I genuinely was not expecting it to just straight up change our weapon. So not just the controls, but it feels like your build is going to have a big impact on how you just feel about the game in general. The music is fine, like it's nothing to write home about, like I'm not blown away by it. For the most part, I haven't even noticed it. Which is neither here nor there. If music is doing its job for the most part, you're either going to really notice it, or you're not going to think twice about it. We should have gone with Salvo at the beginning. I love heat-seeking missiles. I'm slowly but surely getting... I didn't mean to shoot that many missiles. Okay, I didn't mean to go that far. And I was just about to say that I'm slowly but surely getting the hang of the controls, but that does not seem to be the case. I do kind of wish I didn't have a thruster system and that I could just straight up control it with the analog stick and I didn't have to worry about, oh, I'm boosting too much or I'm boosting too little or oh no. While I like the idea of this game, it is difficult to get into. Like the difficulty curve, it was a little high, and that's just because of how most games control nowadays. Most games give you total control of your character or your sprite, or in this case your ship, with the left thumbstick. You don't have to worry so much about the nuance of movement because you're not using two separate buttons to control yourself. And I think that's where a lot of people are going to have a hang up. I know I iterated that already, but the more I play, the more important it feels to mention that. Do we have a boss? Oh god, what does this remind me of? What does this control scheme remind me of? It reminds me of something. It kind of reminds me of I did not mean to drive into that. But that's also, goddamn, that's also what I mean about feeling like I don't have as much control. It's like I legitimately did not mean to go that far forward, and having to completely pivot just so that I don't accidentally run into something is a little annoying. But the way you move kind of reminds me of the thrusting system in the Trials game, if anybody remembers those, which, as most people can attest, like, those games were frustrating as fuck. And those weren't even roguelites, those were just skill-based games. They were Trials. Haha, it's built into the name. But for a game like this, where you're trying to get as far as you can with the... oh my god, with the build you can, I want to be able to just get up and go at a moment's notice. I want to be able to move around the screen just fine, instead of having to rotate the thumbstick. Because I haven't really gone into exactly how the controls work. It has mostly been a combination of this is how the controls work, whatever. Picture playing Resident Evil or Silent Hill or any game with tank controls, and you rotate your camera, or you rotate your character with the thumbstick, but instead of pressing forward, or in this case up, to move the control or move the character, you then have to press L2 or left trigger in order to compel your character to move forward. It's a very strange feeling, and tank systems have already been outdated. I can't even remember the last time I played a game with tank controls. This is weird because I like the game. Like, I'm having an okay time. I don't know if I would say I'm having a good time, but I'm not having a bad time. Like, I'm having a time. It's one of the times of all time, you know? It's the tank controls are... I genuinely feel like that's what holds this game back a little bit. Because at the end of the day, it is also just a pure skill issue on my part, and I am not embarrassed to say that. But I play games like these because of the simplicity of the movement, and adding an extra foil and ruffle to the movement does make the game a little bit less compelling, or a little bit less viable in terms of replayability for me. Another issue I feel right now is there's too many options when you level up. I feel like at the most there should be 3, maybe 4 maximum, but having 7 choices every time you level up it's a bit much. Having to... Jesus. Okay, for a bullet hell roguelite, it does not feel good to not have total control. During a bullet hell game, you want complete control. You want to be as in control as humanly possible so that you can say, oh, if I messed up at the end of the day, it was my fault because I just wasn't playing well. But when you can't even come to a stop because you drift, it does make some moments feel a little cheap. It makes it a little difficult, but again, it is a skill issue. Oh, that's neat. Oh, I'm going into the black hole. Oh. I am here now. I don't know where here is. There's not much in the way of the backgrounds or anything. Like, I know I'm in space right now, but I guess to some degree I was expecting there to be aesthetic differences between the stages, but there's not. I didn't think I was going there. I thought I was going to the other corner. What? I want to go the other way. Thank you. Why is there another singularity? Nope, I don't want to go into the singularity. I want to kill this asshole. Okay. I almost got slingshotted into that. That actually felt super cool. Felt like real life gravity. God, I hate this. I hate this so much. Get out of here. What is that? Come on. Okay. That felt cheap. Okay, let's do another run, I guess. Slowly, I'm getting the feel for the control, but it's easier to get a feel for the control when there's not a lot of chaos going on. When there's a ton of bullets on screen to dodge, that's where I kind of fumble the bag a bit. It's also really easy to just lose track of what direction you're moving in, so you're trying to course correct and then you just kind of end up doing stuff. I don't necessarily want to go into the black hole. I guess I am. It also does damage to your ship when that happens. I feel like that's a little horseshit. Having the split attack is super good for crowds. The crowd control is insane with that. Ooh, that reflect. We're gonna grab guidance in case salvo comes up soon. Oh, now it's giving us some good old projectile homing. That's what I wanted to see, baby. So I guess it just wasn't doing strong enough homing, which is why it looked like nothing was happening. I actually like that. I actually like that weapons that don't get homing can then get it. Okay. I don't want to bitch about the movement too much, so I'm just gonna let that one go. Bro, I was right in front of you. How'd you fumble? And then I run into his attack. And then I run into him. And then I run into his attack. Can you just get gone, please? Thank you. Jeez. Get out of here. I'm coming around on this game. At first, I was feeling a little... to be honest, I'm still a little middle of the road on this. But it genuinely just... because skill issue and I need to get good as a gamer. There's also not much to this game in terms of just aesthetics. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the simplicity of it. I just wish there was a little more to look at. This reminds me of a bunch of old games I used to play on my PlayStation. I just can never remember because they all had like very like Galaga adjacent titles, which like Space Fighter or Galaxy Ship and dumb shit like that. I love the simplicity of these bosses too. Like, this isn't crazy or anything. It's exactly what it needs to be. It's just a big ship. You're a tiny ship. You're the underdog. And since we can rain hell on this fucking guy, don't get too crazy. Don't just fly in there. Can you just get cooked already? Oh jeez. Oh jeez, that's faster than... I killed it by driving into it like an idiot. I didn't even mean to do that. Okay, we're gonna get some more. Oh, is that a space squid? I do feel like there probably should be a better indicator of the front of your ship, because sometimes, even though I know I'm not in equilateral triangle... Can you stop pushing me? I'm trying to talk. Even though I know I'm not in equilateral triangle, like to the fullest degree, sometimes in the shuffle it is easy to lose track of what direction you're facing. I don't know why, but this music just doesn't feel fitting. Okay, that bit of the music there was incredibly abrasive. And when I say that this music doesn't feel fitting, I don't mean like this genre of music, because like very like house style music and techno style music go hand in hand with sci-fi. It just does. But something about the way the music for this game is composed, it either feels like it's never doing enough or it's suddenly doing too much, if that makes any sense. Oh, okay. I guess we're just dealing with you now. I got rebounded twice before I even knew what was going on. Okay. Oh, man. Okay, so I'm going to do a few more runs, and then we're going to talk about it. So, I will see you guys momentarily. Shut up. Okay, so first and foremost, after spending more time with Nova Drift, I genuinely think I was being too harsh on it. And I realized that a big part of the reason I wasn't enjoying myself is because I was playing with a controller, which the game will show you the default controls for if a controller is detected. I honestly believe this is probably the worst way to play the game after spending time playing with just the mouse. I felt like I had more control, which is exactly what I wanted in the first place, even though it's not the exact control scheme I would have liked. So despite all my yapping in the gameplay section, I do want to give my more updated thoughts. Nova Drift is a pretty decent game once you get the hang of things, and there's a surprising amount of ship customization if you engage with what's in front of you. While my feelings overall have softened, I do still believe this one isn't for me personally. Even as I found myself hitting my stride, I wasn't exactly having fun. It felt like I was always chasing the idea of fun, like the game was constantly threatening to suddenly become fun at some point, but I never quite got there. It's a strange feeling to explain because I wasn't bored, but I also wasn't having fun. I was just floating somewhere in between. Like I wasn't zoned out, but I also wasn't locked in. I will say though that the ship customization while you're figuring out your build is both pretty cool in terms of options and incredibly forgiving if you end up not liking one of your primary choices. Like if you end up not liking your weapon, you'll occasionally be given chances to swap it for something else, and that's so player friendly that I couldn't help but dig it. When you're going down skill trees and you're reading one, you're shown on the right side of the screen what choosing that particular skill unlocks so that you can plan accordingly. The reason I'm saying all this while leaving my gameplay as is because I think it's important in terms of how a first impression of a game can be misleading, especially if you're not playing it the optimal way. However critical it was, there was still a decent bit of truth to some of my gripes with the game. I do still think upon level up there are too many options at first, I do still think the music can be abrasive at times, and I do still think the built-in drift can be frustrating, especially when it leads to deaths that felt otherwise avoidable. However, I'm just going to have to take the L on this one and admit pure and simple that for me, it just comes down to a skill issue. The game isn't bad, I'm just bad at it, and I'm not going to punish the game for that. If you think this game looks good, you should give it a try. There's a 90% chance you'll be better at it than me, and I can live with that. Next up is Reignbreaker, an action roguelite in the same vein as Hades that came out a couple of months ago. It says it's set in a dystopian medieval punk world, which sounds way cooler than it should. The thing that put this on my radar though was randomly stumbling across the promotional track that serves as the game's theme song. It's pretty damn good, and I love a good action roguelite, so let's dive in and see what the game has to offer. Oh, okay, the game just starts. There is no opening cutscene or anything. Okay, so we've got a normal attack, looks like a heavy attack, and a dash.
Who trespasses in this bastion? Flee now, and save yourself. Obey thy queen.
The signal. She's broadcasting down here. I must resist that voice.
I like how, low-key messy the artwork is.
You seem
It's different.
surprised. You thought yourself safe from my whispers here in the underground? No one can hide from my command.
I don't know how I feel about the voice acting just yet, especially from the Queen of
You
Keys.
speak of hiding, cowering behind a screen. When I find you and we meet face to face, I will shut you up for good.
Yeah, dox her. Put her IP address on screen. Alright, the animation for the movement's a little stiff, but
A lock. It connects to the vault.
I'm also not a designer.
What is this? Fresh blood.
Oh, I love that design though.
How delightful.
They have mosquitoes in here.
Mosquitoes.
How dare you? I am one of the Queen's most revered medics.
Buzz off.
Oh, I see what you did there.
You don't touch him, you hear? He is under Her Majesty's protection.
Okay, there's a lot happening on screen right now. That was a lot. Holy cannoli, I can't even begin to tell you how weird that felt. Getting hit causes your javelin heat to reset and you take less damage overall. We're gonna go with the max HP.
I can break the bridge lock now.
Yeah, I genuinely don't know how to tell you how weird that felt. Let's check the map. Oh, okay, so it's more Isaac than I thought it would be.
Press forward now.
Because you have a whole ass map. It's not... I was expecting a Hades clone. And I guess I'm glad that it's not necessarily just that. There's some stuttering, and I think it's just because this game's very new and it's probably just not optimized. I don't really need to restore any HP, so I won't. Unless that thing won't go away unless I do. Yep, so. I need to get into another fight so I can try to convey to you how weird it felt. Oh. Okay. Okay, in my defense, when you're in motion and you're brand new to the game and your eyes are darting all over the screen, you don't really notice that right off the bat. Especially because the game does have some like smoothing going on when you're running, so that it's not as jarring on your eyes. So I just straight up did not see that. Like I know I don't need that popping up. Text boxes like that should be disabled while you're in the middle of combat. It's very jarring. This is fine. It's missing the sauce though. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just missing some sauce. But I am also, like, still brand new to this. The triangle button doesn't seem to do anything yet, but I imagine that'll change as the game goes on. Yeah, I don't care for all of the visual noise going on. It's just... it's a lot. I genuinely cannot overstate the visual clutter right now. Like, I'm sure you guys can see it, but I'm sure it feels weird to watch, and it's very weird to play. And I don't know if that's because... I ran right into that. I don't know if that's because they're trying to keep the player, like, fully 100% locked in and engaged. But when you have too much visual noise on screen, it does make it harder to follow what's actually supposed to be happening on screen.
By my spare, if it isn't you, Clef. A most unwelcome surprise.
Is that you, Ardia? I should have known. Still serving the Queen like a slavering guard dog, I see.
You should never have come here, Clef. You betrayed us. You betrayed your oath.
Yeah, the voice acting in this game is not great. And it's not that they have bad voices. It's like the inflection, and it's just kind of odd. I think Clef's doing well, though.
Against a tyrant, it's resistance.
Bars.
Resistance is just a pretty word for treason.
See her? This could have been you if you were not so ungrateful.
Yeah, I'm not feeling the voice acting. Although Clef's voice actress is nailing it. But everyone else so far, I don't know, the Bloodletter, he was kind of cool. I feel like he understood the assignment. Combat music is also pretty fun. I dig this. The normal exploration music, though, I'm not really feeling that. The normal exploration music is just kind of boring. I do wish it was more lively, like the battle music. The battle music's really, really good. Okay. I didn't notice the thing.
It is not too late to bow to me, child.
Okay, I want to see... I'm curious what the meta progression looks like.
Blimey, Clef, have you got a death wish or what? Oh, think of my poor art before you race headlong into the next fight.
That's not the voice I was expecting to come out of that. And that was also not the greatest voice acting.
I feel like my head came between an anvil and a blacksmith.
An unavoidable part of the job, I'm afraid. How did it go?
Izmir, did the accent kind of like come and go in the middle of that sentence? Got an upgrade, so this must be the meta progression. Max health plus 20%, max heat plus 20%. An extra dash is always nice. Allows you to perform a javelin strike. Each bayonet has a unique strike. Javelin attacks deal more damage. Punch twice, pause, then punch 3 more times to pull enemies in and beat them with a flurry of rapid punches. Now that I'm looking at these, upgrades, these aren't really looking all that inspiring. What is this? The armory. So I imagine we get other javelins, as has been mentioned.
Am I ready to go?
Successful raids 06. Okay, so I imagine there's a story thing that triggers when you do 6. Alright, let's give this another go. Yep, I was in the middle of saying that, lady. I'm trying to find the words to describe how I feel about this game so far. It wants to be Hades, from like the design elements to the portrait styles to like the deep lore implications, but it's just missing that sauce. This is kind of what I mean though about the combat feeling a little uninspired so far, because all I could do was punch, 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 wait, punch, 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 wait, punch, 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 wait. There's not a flow chart that makes it all feel good. A lot of the time, combat feels good in games like this because there are baked in ways for all of those systems to flow into each other. Like when systems kind of weave in and out of each other in a way that makes it so that they feel good and it feels natural to combo your heavy attacks and your small attacks. I'm not going to bother with that. I genuinely do not care.
Hey, get over here!
Oh, a new looking area. That's nice. Restore some HP. You've unlocked the Adherent Assault Javelin. Equip it in the armory.
Psst, hey!
Oh, she's adorable.
Come here!
Trench rat?
What's this? You're rather small for a raider.
Yeah, that old Queen's machines don't take any notice of us.
I do like that kids voice acting as well. So like the combat is starting to feel a little better. That's because I am also taking the time to figure things out. It's not intuitive, I will say that. Like the combo flowchart does not feel intuitive. Like you kind of have to go out of your way to figure it out for yourself. And I know that's the case for most flowcharts where you do have to figure it out for yourself. But at least with other games, the flowchart is clear as day to see. Oh, I didn't even realize this was a time limit. I don't even know what hit me.
Kneel, traitor.
Alright, well, I'm gonna do a couple more runs, and then I'll let you guys know how I feel. Just like Nova Drift, some additional hands-on time with this game gave me a steadier appreciation for it. Reignbreaker is pretty fun, but it also isn't going to blow you away either. Games like this have a difficult time crawling out from underneath the shadow of a game like Hades, and while it does do its own thing in its own way, it is a bit difficult to refrain from comparing the two. The Javelin system on its own adds enough of a dynamic identity to the gameplay to set it apart, since all you have to do to unlock them is discover them while out on a run. Each Javelin offers something different to switch up how you approach combat scenarios, and I found myself gravitating toward one that not only unleashes a spinning volley AoE, but also adds a stackable damage over time effect. Runs do start off a little slow in terms of the combat speed, but that's typically rectified by the build you create over the course of the run. There's a system in place for meta progression that will allow you to cover for some of Clef's shortcomings as you see fit. However, I'm not sure how I feel about the fact that the system requires you to equip these meta stats in order for them to become active while also giving you a limited number of slots to equip things in. It's treated less like a skill tree and more like a talisman system, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, just depends on who you are and what you prefer. The enemy design is pretty neat, but it's mostly robo-centric, so aside from the bosses, you won't really find yourself thinking too hard about what an enemy looks like. The combat music is a jam, even though you will hear it over and over and over. I will also say the voice acting isn't great, with the exception of a handful of characters. The main character Clef is voiced wonderfully, but the primary antagonist, the Queen of Keys, is probably some of the worst I've heard in a while. I don't know if that's a narrative thing that gets explored later, but it does stick out. Lastly, I made a remark during my gameplay about the visual clutter, and that does remain true, especially as your build gets more kitted out. There have been many times where there was so much visual noise that I genuinely couldn't see an attack coming or had no idea what hit me. That kind of thing was frustratingly common. Overall, if you've played the absolute hell out of Hades 1 and 2, but really need something in that same vein to scratch a similar itch, you might find yourself really digging what Reignbreaker has to offer. Our final title for the day brings us to Scourgebringer, which advertises itself as a fast-paced, free-moving roguelite platformer. That probably places it in a similar category to Astral Ascent, and it even boasts an equally delightful art style, so without much delay, let's go ahead and check this one out. Okay, so right out the gate, Scourgebringer tells you that this is a challenging game, and that it has adaptive difficulty, in case you suck. Very Devil May Cry 3 of you. I shouldn't need the adaptive difficulty to be turned off, because I think adaptive difficulty can be very interesting. Very Resident Evil 4. We don't know where... Okay, I should have been reading that. So, this is a platformer action roguelite, which sounds interesting. Hostile environment detected. Enable an anti-threat protocols. Proceed with caution. Why is proceed on the... Why is it the X button to move dialogue along? That's weird. What is my attack button? I guess I don't have one yet. Okay, there's a wall slide. So standard Castlevania controls. I do like this so far. I wonder what the roguelite elements are going to look like. Lockdown in progress, unknown threat spotted, suggesting dispatch using force to lift the lockdown. Okay, so our attack is X or square if you're using a PlayStation controller. Combat seems fast and frenetic. Damn, our attack will keep in the air for a long time. You can just kind of float. I'm sure that plays into the mechanics. Out of range enemies, suggesting dash attacks to reach distant threats. Dash my ass, look at this. Is there a cooldown on dashes? Caution, you can be harmed during dash attacks. That seems a little counterproductive. Long reach required to exit, suggesting combining a double jump with a dash attack. I don't need you to hold my hand, Mr. Robot Man. There's not a long cooldown on dashes, it doesn't look like. That is actually pretty interesting. Weakness analyzed. A heavy smash attack will be very effective if timed properly. So it looks like Y. Okay, so we have a light attack, heavy attack, so on and so forth. And we can juggle to a degree. Okay. This is interesting. Enabling long-range armaments. Blast 32 units can fire bullets with energy refills with the strength of user impacts. Sorry, I just saw my phone ring and my mom's calling. Suggesting using close combat force to refill blast 32 unit energy. I feel like with the movement, you don't even need long-range stuff. Weaponry refilled. Long-range bullets available. Blast for rapid disposal of threats. I'm not a fan of this tutorial style. I guess I'm just not a fan of the robot itself stopping me to tell me what the little legend on the side of the screen is already telling me, you know? Like if I have a legend on the side of the screen telling me, you press this button to jump, you press this button to attack, I don't also need a text box doing it. If you wish to survive, take the blood. If you want the ordeal, take the blood. If you seek judgment, take the blood. The blood grants power. The power to create chaos. Seek power. But if you want power, let me guess, take the blood. Alright. Get out of here. Alright. Quantum distortion detected. Analyzing. Identification of a portal to an unknown place. Possible exit. Enabling mapping sensors. Oh, we have a map now. Slugger gives back 1 HP. Okay, so we have 7 total HP. Okay. I like having a map. It's giving me Metroidvania Isaac feels. The Entangled Ingress. Arriving at unknown location. High density of threats detected. Extreme caution applies. I hope that thing stops talking. This music, though. This music is fucking banger. I get an achievement for clearing my first fight. Cool. This is giving me like Devil May Cry Doom vibes with the music. Holy hell. Okay, you're a person I can talk to. Welcome, dear. What is a young girl like you doing in a place like this? The ordeal. Right. How noble of you. Well, I may be of help. I'm Greed, to serve you. Wandering merchant and serious blood amateur. What can make you happy? Have a look. Don't be shy. Oh, and I don't take money. I want those shiny droplets of yours. They have their use around here. Please drop by any time. That is to say, with droplets. Make sure to say, hey, don't show up here if you ain't got the money. This combat feels really good. It's so fast and fluid. And it gives you all the tools you need to feel like a badass right out the gate. Honestly, this is kind of what was it, Spiritfall? This is the kind of quick combat I was hoping for at that game. That game's still fun, don't get me wrong, I have a good time playing it. But the combat in this game, fucking chef's kiss so far. And to have a map that feels very Metroidvania, while also, I imagine, like once we die, because I know I'm going to, probably during the first boss fight, it's gonna... I love our heavy attack stuns. I'm curious to see what the Metroidvania aspect... Oh, we're back here. Nice. I'm curious to see what the roguelite elements look like, and if there's meta progression. Where'd you go? Having a heavy attack that stuns is fucking awesome. Where'd you go, coward? Hell yeah, get out of here. Seismic activity detected. Disposing of this threat might have unblocked an exit. Okay, I wonder if that means that mini-bosses are required combat before you can leave a stage. That's actually kind of neat. Increases blast damage by 5%. Oh, here we go with the percentage-based increases. Fully reloads. I don't really need that. Bye-bye. Alright, so we're gonna go this way. We're gonna go up. Get the fuck out of here. Oh wow, something actually hit me. Okay, yeah, so we need to use our heavy attack to stun. What's over here? Find a secret room. Oh, okay. Grenade launcher. Oh. Oh, okay. So our little shooty McShooter thing can be altered. Get out of here. Okay, the combat for this game genuinely feels incredible. Okay, I can see that there's something above me on the map. Oh, it's over here. I'm just an idiot. And we need our dash to close the distance so that we can interrupt enemies. I do like that. I do like this a lot. I genuinely cannot convey how good this feels. Usually combat, when it's too fast, feels kind of hectic. But this... Oh, that was dumb damage on my part. But this feels awesome. Okay, I need to stop taking terrible damage. Oh, okay, yeah. That was really stupid. That was fast. That was only 5 minutes. I felt like we were in there for a hot minute. The chiming tree. Okay, so here are the roguelite elements. What is this? Here's the meta progression. Okay. We have 2 of these Judge Bloods. It gives 1 more permanent max HP, which is good. Allows you to fast travel to any visited room from the map. Oh, that's also good. Probably want to take both of those. Lethal Club allows you to throw bullets back at enemies with this smash, inflicting a lot of damage on impact, and also using the force of slightly recharge. The force to slightly reach. That's awesome! Holy cannoli. Okay, so we can get like a deflect attack. Smash enemies are projected toward other enemies, inflicting more damage upon contact. Starting package allows you to start a run with 500 blood droplets and a combo of 2.0. I don't know what a combo is yet. Imagine it does extra damage. When standing still, blast 32 will point toward the next guardian, or towards the judge of the guardians have been, or toward the judge if the guardians have been taken down. Dang, okay. You know, I'm gonna go for the early smash technique. That just seems right. Ah, welcome to the chiming tree. It's the tree who keeps us alive. Who am I? Garo, I guess? I'm from Expedition 6. Or was that 16? You're not a seeker. Let's see. A warrior. Oh well. I've been waiting here for an eternity to help the ones who need me. That I remember. Now go. Blood is power. I need to think. Is there anything else? Oh. It just insta-loops. These runs are super fast. Bye-bye. No thanks. I really want to test out this reflect. But everything's dead now. The fact that there's not a huge delay on your attack speed is genuinely what makes this feel as good as it does. You can attack super fast. You don't have like a set combo that predetermines the amount of attacks you can make before you have to take a standard pause. Oh, come on. Those last 2 got me? Heck. I need to be a little more liberal with my dashing. Especially because there's not a long recharge on that. It's also incredible for helping us... Damn. It's also incredible for helping us clear distances super quickly. What? I don't even know what hit me just now. What did damage to me? Whatever, I'll catch it on the replay. I'll let Editor Saturn figure that one out. There really isn't much downtime in this game, and I kind of dig it. You just go for... Oh, I didn't react quick enough to that. Something about how chaotic this is feels very Devil May Cry, which I know I mentioned that in terms of the soundtrack, but the action just feels incredibly fast-paced in a way that's not overwhelming. It's very whelming. Like, I'm very whelmed right now. The aesthetic of this game is also pretty marvelous in its simplicity. I'm always a fan of... I'm always a fan of, like, sprites of this kind in terms of pixel art. And this works for me. Okay, we have to remember to actually interrupt these enemies. We also need to remember to dash. That's kind of my problem right now, is I get so caught up in trying to endlessly combo enemies that I forget to dash, and I forget to react when I see the exclamation point above their heads. This is the kind of game where if you don't want to touch the ground, you don't have to. You just gotta get good at your actual movement. I am down to 1 HP. I wonder if the merchant... Does the merchant have heals? Where did I see the merchant? Gives back 3 HP and I can't afford it. That is unfortunate. And we haven't come across the judge or a guardian yet. So we're gonna go this way. This is one of those kind of games where I don't necessarily mind. I don't necessarily mind if I die super fast in a run, because these runs are very quick. So even if I get cooked and die, what's this? Increase damage to stun enemies by 5%. Cool, I guess. Okay, it looks like as soon as I went in, I got sniped. Okay. Alright. Let's try to play a little better. And then I immediately don't do that. And then I immediately don't do it again. I do wish that there's a bit more of a buffer when it comes to reflecting enemies' damage. Because you kind of get locked in place for a couple of frames when you go to reflect, and if all of the missiles aren't at the same spot, you'll reflect like the first one and then the next two will just slam into you. Adds a random mod for your current weapon, or replaces one if the weapon is maxed out. Enemies have 25% less life, 10% on bosses. Deals 5% more damage for every 1,000 blood you hold on you. That's a lot. That is a large number to have to reach for 5% increase. Let's go for an instant mod. So far, the increases to your killing power don't feel great, but I've also experienced very few of them, so I'm gonna reserve any genuine judgment. I do hope that you can increase the potency of your reflect in the gift tree, because like I said, it feels a little unfortunate when you spend some time trying to reflect the bullets and then you just end up, you know, eating the two because you're locked in place, because you can't even frame cancel out of it. Like, there's like a handful of frames where you are straight up locked in place. So if you're getting unlucky, you are just kind of trapped while stuff does what it wants. Like, I thought I got away from that, but I guess not. I am... yeah. This game's a little tricky, but it's fun. That's the thing. It feels fair. This is one of those get good kind of games, but it also seems like the kind of game where as you put more of the judge droplets points into the gift tree, that you'll start to feel better and better. So I'm going to play some more, and then I will give you my thoughts. So yeah, I will be right back. This one was a total blast to play. I wasn't prepared for how fast the combat is, especially once you hit that flow state where everything just falls into place. There is a bit of a difficulty curve in terms of onboarding new players because of the speed of combat though. It can be punishing for sure, but damn if it doesn't feel good when you just blitz through a room of enemies like they're nothing. And I say that as someone that can fully admit that I'm not even particularly good at this game, which goes to show how fun it can be. The movement is quick but controlled, and you're given every tool you need to effortlessly move around the spaces you're in. From a double jump to a dash with a quick cooldown to a wall grab, all of these things work together in such fantastic harmony to give the combat that satisfying feel. A run can be long or short, it really just depends on your personal skill ceiling and luck. You can breeze through an area and the bosses, or you can get obliterated in the second room. If nothing else, the stellar combat music will amp you up enough to want to get to a point where you can essentially Devil May Cry an entire room of enemies. The meta progression of the game is a bit difficult to truly engage with early game, since until you unlock more of it, there aren't many ways of gaining the currency outside of defeating bosses and mini-bosses. So to an extent, there is a gate to progression that can only be overcome through time, skill, and a healthy pinch of luck. But if you can stick it out long enough to get a handle on combat and the dynamic flowchart that comes with it, you could have a blast. If this style of game is even remotely up your alley, it is very much worth giving it a shot. And that's another batch of games down. I think it's pretty clear that I have to give this episode's gold star recommendation to Gunfire Reborn. I had a ton of fun with several games in today's video, but this is the one I most frequently find myself going back to play in my free time. This game is fun solo, but if you can convince some buddies to drop $15 to $20 on it depending on if it's on sale or not, I think you'll be just as surprised at how much time you put into it. As always, I want you to keep in mind that these are just my opinions and I can only recommend you grab or avoid something based on my own personal enjoyment. You might end up loving a game that I didn't, or hating a game that I did. I'm always going to give games a fair shake and tell you exactly why something does or doesn't work for me. If there's a game you enjoy that you think I should check out, let me know in the comments below. A huge shout out to these wonderful people for their continued support over on Patreon, with a big thank you to Celestial tier members Brendan Carlson, Cho and Sheen, Stephen PD101, This One Snack, Totally Reasonable Curb, and Trey Hardy. If you'd like to support the channel, snag a place in the credit scroll, or see videos early, consider heading over to Patreon, which is linked below. If you can't, a like and subscribe also go a very long way with helping out small channels like mine. Remember to take care of yourselves and others. I'll see you guys soon, and as always, thanks for watching.